Welcome to the Midwest. My name is Jesse, and today I am answering a question that I think a lot of people didn't even know they needed to ask. And that is, what is breath work? Oh, hey, by the way, I am Jesse. I know some of you may be wondering where the beard went. If you haven't seen me shave my beard, I did make a video of it. It is the passing of a legendary friend, my beard. He'll be returning someday, but for now, I'm going with just some stubble and having some fun with it. I'm stuck indoors. It's quarantine times in the Midwest and all around the world. We've got a lot of time on our hands. Some of us do, some of us don't. But ultimately, we don't have a lot of options as far as what to do. So this is a great time to get into breath work. So what is breath work? How can I use it? And how can I use it to make myself a healthier, happier person? Let's talk about that today. Welcome to the Midwest. My name is Jesse, and breath work is something that a lot of people associate, especially the people I talk to, they associate simply with Wim Hof and Wim Hof method. And I will say this, Wim Hof is probably the most famous breath worker on the planet. He's made the Wim Hof method, and if you want to learn more about that, take a look at the link below. But the thing is, Wim Hof method has a really powerful breathing technique. And so many people, when they think about breath work, they think it must be Wim Hof method. Now, this is a wonderful breathing technique. It's one that I teach in my workshops and to my students all over the place, but it's not the only bit of breath work. In fact, it's this much of the wide world that is breath work. You see, the human being, we can do something that no other animals can do. We have conscious control over our breathing. We can take control of our breathing at will. You can modulate how fast, how slow. Will you breathe through your nose, through your mouth? You can do this at will, and no other animal can do this. Now, scientists, they point to a time in human evolution when we developed the ability to speak. And with that ability to speak came a need to be able to modulate our voice. And so it just so happens that part of our brain is right next to the part of our brain that modulates the autonomic nervous system. It's hooked right in. Now, breathing is normally something that is done automatically. If you weren't thinking about it just now and you just now became aware of it, you were probably hopefully you were breathing all day, and then suddenly you're like, okay, I'm thinking about my breathing. Well, I better sit up straight, and I'm going to start doing my breathing into my diaphragm now. You're conscious of it, so you become in control of it. This gives us a top-down regulation. It gives us a top-down control over our autonomic nervous system. Now, normally our autonomic nervous system is depending on our environment to inform us of how to behave. So, for instance, in ancient times, whenever you were in a cave, whenever you were in a safe place, your body naturally went into a state of rest and digest, or also sometimes known as the parasympathetic dominant system. And that was the system that told your body, okay, now it's time to repair, it's time to heal, it's time to digest, it's time to reproduce, it's time to do all these things. Now, at the same time, whenever you went out of your cave, maybe you were going to go hunting or something like that, or maybe you're running away from, a saber-toothed tiger or something of that nature. Well, your body kicked into that sympathetic dominant state, which is also sometimes associated with the fight or flight state. So everything changed. You no longer did you need to digest anything. Your body was like, okay, the blood needs to go to the skeletal muscles. I don't need to have my reproductive organs turned on right now. So I'm going to shut that off. I'm going to go straight into fight or flight mode. My muscles are going to be strong. I'm going to have a better sense of smell, a better sense of vision, and I'm going to be able to get away from this predator. Well, in the modern age, we don't have these external stimuli that give us the cues that we need. You're watching this maybe even on your cell phone, but we have all of these stressors that we bring into our lives, and psychologically we don't really know the difference between an actual bear chasing after us and a deadline that we have to meet for work. So we're stuck oftentimes in this fight or flight state. And it is through breath work that we can consciously reclaim control of our autonomic nervous system. So there are many techniques. Wim Hof method is one, but it's not the be all end all. I practice Wim Hof method, but I also practice Buteyko. I also practice various forms of pranayama, which is one of the branches of yoga. Also, there's a lot of breathing techniques that are incredibly ancient, but there's also breathing techniques that are more modern, things that are people, once they started to understand the kind of what was going on, what are the basics, what is happening when I breathe this way versus what is happening when I breathe that way. Well, we started coming up with other breathing techniques. And on my channel, you may find a breathing session. I think right now I have a 30-minute breathing session. If you're in my Patreon group, you get access to tons and tons of guided breathing sessions. And some of them are geared toward amping you up. Some of them are geared toward helping you relax. Some of them help you come down after a good workout, so you're going to grow more muscle and recover faster. Some of them may help you sleep. Some of them may help you before a test. You can do so much just with your breathing. The longer your breaths, the slower your breaths, the more parasympathetic you're going to get. And it makes sense. Just think about this. You're hacking into this automated system. Well, when you are relaxed, do you breathe fast or do you breathe slow? Okay, generally, I assume you're breathing slow. Whenever you're upset or excited, do you breathe fast or do you breathe slow? Well, you probably breathe a little faster. The thing is, you're able to send the signal from the top down. So if you're breathing faster, you're telling your system, hey, I am in a state of fight or flight. I am in a place that I need some energy. I need to send some energy to my muscles and take energy away from my digestion and my reproductive system so that I can go, face this enemy or get away from this problem. If you're slowing your breathing down, you're telling your system, okay, I'm in a safe place. I'm in a safe place so I can digest, I can reproduce, I can relax, I can heal. So simply by slowing your breathing down, you can activate the parasympathetic dominant system. By speeding up, you can activate the sympathetic dominant system. Now there's all kinds of breathing techniques out there, and these are things we will talk about in other videos, especially if you're on my Patreon. Basically, for $5 a month, you can get video. I send you tons of videos on breathing and how to become a better breather, and then also I give you a lot of guided breathwork sessions. But regardless of what you do, use this time to think, okay, if I can affect my state with my breath, and this is something the yogis figured out thousands of years ago. If I can figure out how to affect my state with my breath, that's real control over my body and mind. That is especially good in a time like today. I'm filming this April 1st, 2020. This is not an April Fool's joke. I don't do the April Fool's jokes. But it's especially good to say, okay, lots of people are panicked. Maybe I am having to live kind of cramped. I'm a social person. I don't really personally like having to be stuck at home. So maybe I'm getting irritable. Maybe I'm getting upset. Maybe I'm getting anxious, some dealing with some anxiety. And we don't even maybe know where the anxiety is coming from. I'm not really afraid, but maybe I'm afraid, but maybe I'm worried about this. Okay, what is that doing? It's putting you in that state of fight or flight. How can I reclaim my calm? How can I reclaim myself in that state of rest and digest? Okay, I'm gonna slow my breathing down. Something as simple as that is also incredibly powerful. So I invite you to use that. I invite you to stick with me in this channel. We're gonna be talking about other forms of breathing, and especially I'd invite you to, if you really wanna get serious about it, just $5 a month to join my Patreon, and I'll put the link in the description box below. But that is breathwork. Breathwork is not just one technique. There's no just one way to do the breathing. There is not just the breathing that I oftentimes get in my messages. There's so many varieties of breathing techniques that give you a variety of results. is just a beautiful, wonderful thing. It's a very expansive thing, and it's a field that it's interesting. In this day and age, it's cutting edge, but it's also an incredibly ancient thing too. It dates back thousands of years, but we are only just now kind of saying, hey, maybe those yogis had something going on. Maybe those monks really knew what they were doing. Maybe there really is something to this, and maybe I can take control over my state. So try it out. Slow down your breathing or speed it up. See how it feels. Experiment for yourself. I hope this helps. Hope this clears up kind of what this general field of breath work is. Guys, let's be strong out there, okay? We're living in a crazy world. We're living in a crazy time, but that's okay. Take control. Take control of your breathing, and you can take control of your state. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to go out there and be nice to people. Well, wait a minute. I guess we're staying in, but you get the idea.